right, we are live in Studio C, also known as my basement, also known as the Diet Man Cave. And we'll wait for a couple people to come in. I'll move this out the way. Stuff doesn't need to be here. Wait for some more people to come in, or a person to come in, and we'll get started with the live check-in another week. And we'll go over what I'm having here. If you can see it, let me pull this down a little bit. Maybe I'll pull it back. Here we go. And we'll go in from there. It doesn't seem like the light is helping. Let me take a look and see if this looks any better without the light. It seems like everything's washed out. Let me bring it down a little bit. If that makes a difference. Does that look any better? I don't know. I don't know if that looks any better. It's hard to tell with this camera. I'm gonna have to step up my game with the cameras and things like that. All right, we have our first guest, first viewer, first individual in the live chat. Thanks for joining me. Oh, we have two. We have two in the live chat right now. Well, not live chat, excuse me, just joining me for this live video. And by all means, make sure you let me know that you're here when we come on. When you come on, that is. Yes, I'm not dressed up like last time on my other videos. I'm sorry. I don't really have time to get dressed up. I barely have time to do this live video. So please forgive me for not being better dressed. But I'm not wearing sweatpants. I'm not wearing sweatpants. I'm not wearing sweatpants. I was wearing sweatpants earlier because I went to the gym and then I went grocery shopping. So if somebody would have seen me out and about, they would say, "Hey, what are you doing?" All right, let's go ahead and we'll get started now. We'll get into it a little bit. So starting out, we have Hardy, the Legend 1863. Hardy Legend 1863. This is a cognac. This is probably the best pound for pound cognac I've ever had. Pound for pound, the best cognac I've ever had. This is a Napoleon. This is not terribly expensive. It's not too hard to find. You might have to get it ordered, but believe me, it'll be worth the effort if you have to order it from your liquor store. And I would highly suggest trying it. It is the best, and I'm almost done. I believe I did a pairing with this. I never did a individual review of it. I think I'm going to buy another bottle of this sometime soon, and I'll do a review of it because I'm going to probably finish it right now in this video. So let's go ahead and pop it open, pour it out in my brandy snifter. I keep looking over. I have a wood burning stove. I just got started, so I'm watching the fire get going. Yeah, that's some good stuff. That's some real good stuff. I hope everybody had a good week. If you're watching this video on, I guess, the replay for Sunday. This is Sunday, March 12th. If you're watching the replay to whatever day it is, anytime recent, I hope you had a good week. I had a pretty good week. I had to work yesterday, Saturday, because I had certification. If you see in the back, I had certification with him. That is my partner, Draco. He is uh, he is a bomb dog, and that's what I do. I'm a bomb dog handler, and so we have to get certified twice a year because of what my uh, what do you want to call it? I don't want to say I'm special, but it's a group of us that have to get certified twice a year. Other people just get certified once a year, and there are some people who get certified by that I work with by different entities. Also, I formerly was getting certified twice a year, but it was two different entities that were dealing with my different certifications. Thanks for joining me. If you let me know who's checking in, if you can check in, let me know who's here. We get a little bit more into what we're talking about. I'd say in a couple minutes. This video is only going to be an hour at the most. I have some things I wanted to talk about this week, especially the video of the sweatpants video. I wanted to definitely talk about that. I got some good comments, and I got some comments that are questioning or challenging why I would do such a video. What are you doing? Okay, he's just gonna lay right there in the doorway. I don't know why he's doing that, but he can do what he wants. Right now, he can do what he wants. We had a good certification, so he got a couple treats and special extra treats because we passed certification. So it's a good amount on me to pay attention to him, but it's also a good amount on him that gets me passing those certifications. I hope that you guys are doing okay with the change in time. Every year we do this. Not every year. Twice a year we do this, and why we do it twice a year, I don't know. Hey, Mum Ra, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Good evening to you, sir. Cheers. Like I said, I'm keep looking over to my left. I guess your right, because I have a fire I just started, and I need to make sure it's because it's in its early stages, and I want to make sure that it doesn't go out. But it's in its early stages, so it's slightly raging right now. Let me go over, get some things ready here. So we're gonna go over what we're doing, go over the subject matter. So I want to go over the first, this sweatpants comments that I want to go out with. Start out with. Some people were really receptive to it, and some people thought it was maybe a little bit of I was grasping a little bit, and then some people thought that that was a really good idea that I did this video. For most of you who are watching me, well, all of you are watching me, most of you are thinking this is not my subject matter, but I would say kind of is, because what's taking place currently in our world, in our Western world, we are actually being very destructive to our young men. And part of our destruction of young men is just not giving them something to be accountable for. And with them wearing anything they want to wear, and you should wear anything you want to wear. However, you should want to look as nice as possible. And it's very difficult to look really nice in sweatpants. It really is. Because as you've seen, my arguments in the video, excuse me, I have a second dog, and she is very loud. Let me see. I want to read this comment directly. I don't want to get anything wrong. Her name is Khaleesi of Game of Thrones. Of course, as you can tell, she is a Rottweiler, and her job is to take care of this house. She is not like my Draco, where his job is to help me make money. All right, yeah, there we go. So it's not a long comment. This is Playboy Lifestyle. He commented, "Stick to liquor and cigars and stay in your lane." Stay in my lane. Okay. Hey, StyleCon. Thanks for being here. Stay in my lane. What is my lane? As I said before, I believe that we're in some serious time in our existence in the United States, and one of those things you hear with police and military, especially, you say, "If not me, then who?" So who else am I? I can't sit here and wait for somebody to say it, somebody to step up besides me and say what needs to be said. And it needs to be said that there's things that are keeping us from being who we need to be, and we're sitting watching. We're sitting watching and waiting for something to happen and change, instead of one of us saying, "Okay, let's go ahead and change it. Let's start to change it." I don't know how much that video is going to really start touching people or making people mad or making people pay attention, but I had to do it. I had to do it. And then the other part is where I'm getting into the clothing. If I'm into watches, which I was into first, being into watches first, if you're into a watch, you like watches, you like looking good. This is another video for another time, I think. But your watch is an accessory to the rest of your clothes. Your watch accentuates your wardrobe, your ensemble, and things like that. And if you're a person who likes to wear a watch, a person who likes to look nice, you see when people aren't looking nice. And then it's one thing to say, "Okay, well, you group of people just don't want to dress nice. That's okay." But I find that it is more of an epidemic where it's too many people not dressing the way they should. And I had to address it. And I had to make and put it out there. And for those of you who didn't like it, and I really like that people left a comment. Leave the comment and say you don't like it. Leave a comment and say, "Hey, I don't like it. I don't like what you're saying," and then I can address it. But staying in my lane, this is my lane. Number one. Number two, the big number two, YouTube hates cigars. I know I'm being shadow banned. I am not being seen by my subscribers. I have some of the worst numbers I've ever had right now, and putting out a lot of videos. I have not put out this many videos in years. And when I was putting out this many videos, I was getting my better videos were getting thousands of videos. I mean, about thousands of views quickly. Within a couple days, they would have a couple thousand views, or maybe just 1,000 views. This particular video, this not don't wear sweatpants with video, stop wearing sweatpants video, has the most views this quick. So what does that tell me? That tells me I need to make more videos like that, because YouTube is maybe letting me in the door. But I truly believe, and the thing is, you don't know you're being shadow banned unless you're somebody really big. I'm talking about for sure. But this is all the signs that I'm being shadow banned. So, why am I being shadow banned? Because of the cigars. It's the belief that cigars are no different than cigarettes. And for those of us who smoke cigars and know a thing or two about cigars, they're completely different than cigarettes. I am not addicted, and most of the people I know are not addicted to smoking cigars. I have met people who are addicted to smoking cigars, working in a cigar lounge. However, they don't go through the same negative effects of withdrawal that somebody goes through when they're smoking cigarettes. So if you're able to check in and let me know you're here, please let me know that you're here. Just to know, just to say hello, and if you want to talk back and forth, we definitely can talk back and forth. But back to being shadow banned. As I said before, if I can't turn this around, if I can't make 10,000 more subscribers by the end of next year, end of this year, I'm calling it. I just can't. I can't see making videos for 200, 300 people, but applying all the things I would apply for thousands of people. Meaning, a lot of you have asked me, hey, improve your lighting. Hey, improve your camera. Improve your microphone, or add a microphone. And when I do that, then I get one or two more people watching. And it's frustrating. It's terribly frustrating to actually try hard and do what you guys are asking from me, and then it means I get two or three more people watching. So I can't sustain that. What that also would mean, or what that would ultimately mean, the end of my videos? Not necessarily. If you have not, and I know a lot of people this day and age, Facebook is not the cool place to be. If you have not friend requested me on Facebook, make sure you do. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, make sure you do, because I may end up on Facebook or Instagram making a video here and there or whatever, but it won't be to this level. All right, who do we have? Pooh Golden. That's true. I never see updates. Right. See, that's the thing. I have been putting out 4 videos every week for the past, I think, six or 7 weeks. And in the video I've had, I don't know if you guys seen it, and I talked about it last week. I've had people in the comments say, hey, why don't you do some watch videos again? I'm doing watch videos. I'm actually doing watch videos again. And the fact that you don't know I'm doing watch videos. Wow, what the hell is going on? Yeah, thank you, Pooh, Golden Pooh. Thanks for adding that. Hey, Keith, thanks for joining me. Kay, what's going on? Thanks for joining me again. But yeah, and it's not Pooh. It's crazy, but YouTube is run by individuals. It's not run by people who have to be fair, and they absolutely are not fair. And that's why, if you know anything about the bigger cigar creators, the biggest was Cigar Obsession. Is on Rumble if you want to watch him. Then also, Should I Smoke This is on Rumble. He's not doing any videos there. And it's also in what they're trying to do is they only allowing to make it seem like they're not shadow banning. They are allowing a couple people to get through. A couple people get through. I watch, and one of my favorites is Nick Folks and Sons. I watch Nick Folks and Sons, and they get through. I don't ever get any updates or anything from people that's on a lower level. It used to be a couple years ago when I was doing videos, I would get brand new people who have maybe 1,000 subscribers or less, because that's what I'm into. I'm into cigars. I'm into distilled aged spirits. I'm into watches. Only things like when people say that, oh, there's no shadow banning. No, it's absolutely real. All right, let's read the comments section. What's up, got him? That's crazy. YouTube is just tagged you a cigar smoker only, and yes, that's exactly it. I'm just a cigar smoker, and that is what I'm labeled as, and I can't be anything else. And so, unfortunately, that is when you're labeled as that, that's what you're labeled as, and it's hard going up that hill. It is absolutely crazy, and which is super frustrating. Super frustrating is how I know so many people are waiting for me to put out a new video. How do I have 10,000 plus, and I get 100 views within a couple days? I have some videos that right now, and I know people want to watch, just broke 100 views. Perfect example. When I was doing YouTube videos pretty much exclusively with cigars, if I put a Seiko video out, 1,000 views day one right away. 1,000 views day one right away. I would have easily 10,000 views in a week or two. That doesn't happen. That's not happen. I put out a really cool Seiko video. Just one Seiko video right now, right? Because I have some Seiko videos coming. But it's crazy how I can not be seen, and it's because of the cigar. So again, I don't know how much longer I can sustain this, but yeah. See, Kirby Allison, he's so big that they allow him in, and he didn't do cigar. He doesn't do that many cigar videos as a percentage. If you look at what he is doing on what kind of videos he does on the as a whole or majority, yeah, it's a small percentage. But he's so big they don't want to cut him out. They don't want to cut his knees off. All right, so what are we drinking? We are drinking Hardy 1863. This is Hardy Legend 1863. If you ever want to have a good cognac, and you want cognac, you don't want Armagnac, and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg, this is the pound for pound. And you see why there's not left. This is the pound for pound best cognac I've ever had. Best cognac I've ever had, pound for pound. This is a Napoleon level. This is not a VSOP. It's not an XO. It's right in between. And I did a video on that. Maybe you saw it. Maybe you didn't. I broke down the different levels of cognac, and Napoleon is a great place to go if you don't want to pay the price for XO, but you still want a really good cognac. Derek, that's my point again. I am on Rumble. I'm on Rumble. My YouTube videos go to Rumble. I was putting my cigar pairing videos exclusively on Rumble. My last three, I believe it's my last three cigar pairing videos, I had either they were exclusively on Rumble or I had them set to go on Rumble. Just the numbers in Rumble are just horrid, horrid. And it's just because so few people are on Rumble. It's a very, very, very small amount of people on Rumble. Now, TikTok, I don't, I will never, ever, ever, ever do anything with TikTok. TikTok is evil. I said it. I mean it. TikTok is evil. No, absolutely not. I will not be ever on TikTok. I'll stop. I'll stop doing videos right now. If that's the case, if I had no other way to put my videos out, I would not put my videos on TikTok or be anything a part of TikTok. I don't have TikTok. My kids are forbidden to be on TikTok. No, absolutely not. Yeah, I don't have any association with that. Now, in the comment section, is anybody here because of my watch videos? Are you a watch guy? If anybody's in the watch video, just let me know. You don't have to put anything. Just put yes on there, and I'll know what you're talking about. But I have a question to pose to you and see, because I have a video coming out, and it's a pretty challenging video. But the reality of it is, people like this kind of stuff. It's not. I'm not being nice at all. Being anything you want to call it, being rude, being arrogant, being this or that. But I have a question to ask for you. I have that question for you. Yeah, Kay, I remember that you were. I definitely remember that. Kay, have you ever had the Hardy before? All right, Derek, I got a question for you. And anybody else that's listening, even if this is on a replay. Well, if you are for your watches, what do you think your percentage of your, I would say, net worth be for your watches? Or if that's too hard to figure out, what percentage of your home, the cost of how much your house is worth, your home is worth, how would you do that with a percentage of how much your watch collection is worth? Meaning, when is it a point where you're spending too much on your watches and not enough on the more important things in your life? I have a video coming out about that, and I get into how a gentleman is spending more money on his watches, his watch collection, I guess, than what he should be spending on his home. Okay, all right. Kay, have you ever had have you ever had any Armagnac yet? Now, Derek, what I would say for me, because I try to do the math, and I would say 2%. 2% is what I'm thinking is reasonable for a your house compared to you how much your watch collection costs. Okay, 5% is pretty good. The person in the video, I don't think he owns something. Yeah, 2% from what I've been looking at and everything else is about right. I think 2% of what your home or your other assets are worth. Um, unless I would say that's the profession you're in. If you work at a jewelry store, you work for actually you are a watchmaker, and your watches are worth more than how much you bought them for. Maybe that could be up to 5% or even 10% if you're into, maybe you work for Swatch Group, maybe you work for what's the um, LVMH, yeah, LVMH, maybe you work for them. But so Pooh, you never understood the watch collecting. Or he says, I never understood watch collecting. It just comes across as simply spending the greatest amount possible. No one even explains to what you get out of spending 20,000 or more on a watch. Well, okay. Um, I will tell you, it's the same thing as buying art. It's the same thing as buying um, jewelry like diamonds and stuff like that. And I mean, on a high level, if you're talking about 20,000, um, on my level, it's under 20,000. And what I would say, and I have a video I wrote the video for this little preview. The watch, the watch is a sign. If you're not familiar with big business or the corporate world, or even in the military, this is the case. People notice when you have little what do I want to call them? You have traits about you that let other people know what you're about. So with watches, I have never seen a person who collects watches at a certain level, a certain watch, a person who collects certain watches, not be a really smart or well rounded person, or even sometimes a powerful person. The same thing I've seen when it comes to big business and marriage. A lot of people who are very um, very successful in business will always be married. But say a watch really kind of sets you apart, and that's why I get into the clothes too. Your clothes tell a story. Your clothes tells a serious story. Now, here's another thing which is funny. If you're with me with cigars and and spirits, look at any spirits and cigar magazine. You will always see advertisement for watches because we're the same people. We are absolutely the same people. It's the same thing. If you spend $100 on a bottle of alcohol, what are you looking for? You're looking for a high level of craftsmanship, a high level of detail. That drink is not one dimensional. If you spend $100 on a drink, on a bottle of distilled aged spirit, your scotch, your bourbon, or whatever, you're looking for something. You're looking for something special. It's the same thing with a watch. Also, I always burp when I drink. I'm sorry. When I'm drinking talk. For the watches, you're looking for something detail, and what I was trying to say is not just detail, but it is harking back to the way something was done the old way. It is super traditional with the way it is done. It's even like really nice furniture. Really nice furniture is super expensive because it's made the right way. It's not made with pieces and in particles of wood. It's made with whole pieces of wood. A watch is made, the more expensive watches are made the old way. They're mechanical watches. And these mechanical watches are made the old way, where you have to have all these things perfectly done right at the same time to achieve your ability to watch your time. the ability to pay attention to your time. All right. Let me read some. Okay. Hi, Charles. When you have enough watches, when will you have enough? My wife asked me that question. When will I have enough watches in my collection? Here's the point that I wanted to get to and really put out that a lot of people that are in watch collections really lose track of. My watch collection will constantly grow as long as my wardrobe grows. I want to have the right watch for the right situation depending on my wardrobe. So if I'm wearing a suit, a particular suit, a particular color, and everything else, I want to have accessories that make that suit look good. A really good suit doesn't look good without the right tie, without the right maybe pocket square, without the right tie tack or some kind of ornament that's along with the suit, along with maybe you have a bracelet, you have a nice watch. Of course, you have the right shoes. All those things should matter. So as my watch collection grows, so does my shoe collection. So does my ties. So does other adornments like my bracelets and things like that go my rings. If you're paying attention or you've seen, and I will have a video for this, this is a green ring in the middle, green to go with my green shirt, go with the green watch. So that is the question. When will my collection be complete or what have you? The answer is never, as long as my wardrobe keeps getting bigger and more in depth and everything else. So that's the answer. It never, because I always want to grow and maybe have a nicer watch, have nicer clothes. But a lot of times in the watch community, people put the watch in front of everything. And that shouldn't be it. It's an accessory. It's an accessory, not the number one thing, the most important thing that you can let other things go. A $15,000 watch, if you're getting a $15,000 watch, let me see, Golden Poo, or why a $15,000 watch is lesser quality than a $50,000 watch. Well, it goes with, again, if I can use furniture as an example. Imagine somebody being the best at making furniture. Then you have somebody good at making furniture, but below that, when you go to IKEA, a machine made the furniture and it's put together with a whole bunch of pieces instead of one solid piece or maybe a couple solid pieces. Who made it? And then when you have a nice piece of furniture, when it's really nice, it could be hundreds of years old, because that's, if I was lucky enough to see old furniture from a job I worked at before, working at the U.S. State Department. They have a collection of old furniture. All the furniture now is trying to be that furniture. So when you have really nice furniture, it's going to cost more. Who made it? How long ago was it made? And everything else. Will it stand the test of time? A really expensive watch, when you start going into the $50,000 level, that watch has been made by somebody really special, and it has even more possibility of gaining worth, costing more, be worth more in time. But the question, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't have those watches. There's a lot of people that don't have those watches. Like the people watching right now, you're watching right now, there's not a lot of people who have those watches. You're not. A lot of you aren't wearing a really expensive watch right now, maybe not even wearing a watch. Most people, $1,000 watch is a lot of money for a watch. It's a lot of money. Most people don't have the money or don't want to spend $1,000 on a watch. person who has a $15,000 watch usually and should have a $100,000 car. Why do you have a $100,000 car? Doesn't it get you from point A to point B? Maybe you want to go a little bit faster from point A to point B, or you want to feel even more comfortable from point A and point B. And all those things are exactly the same for an expensive watch. What is the material that watch is made out of, and who made it? All right, Derek Home, $500,000 home, 200%. Yeah, that's 10,000. 10,000, I think, is about right. Totally $10,000. That's about right. Yeah. And I love Seiko too. And Seiko is probably not. I'm going to say Seiko is the best brand. Totally. They make the best watches up and down the scale. So Keith, you say you don't go out enough to have an extensive wardrobe and watch collection. Okay, yeah, that's maybe it. For me, I've actually manufactured that. I tried to figure out, and that's what I looked at also. I said, wow, I have a lot of watches, and I don't necessarily have a place to go. So what I've started doing, and this is not recent, this is years ago, I started finding ways to dress nice and everything else. One of the best places to wear really nice wardrobe, clothes, and everything else is going on a cruise. And my synopsis and my theory on why cruises, if you're not familiar, cruises are having fights. Yeah, people are fighting on vacation, is because all the cruises that they're fighting on have relaxed their dress code. Before, cruises would require you to wear certain clothes, certain days, and certain venues. Man, you couldn't go in a certain dining room. You could not go in a certain dining room if you weren't dressed right. It was required. It wasn't, yeah, it's okay. No, it was required. And the people on the cruise wanted it. And so now they've relaxed it. And I saw firsthand, because I was on a cruise in November. I saw it firsthand. What happens when you allow people to dress any way they want to on a cruise? And they act that way. That's what the sweatpants video was all about. People are actually acting the way you would act in certain clothes. If those people were wearing a suit, they definitely wouldn't be acting that way, because it makes you feel a little bit different. You feel like you need to, maybe we need to talk this out. This is ridiculous. You know, that's the way you feel when you're wearing a suit. You feel like, sir, I think you said the wrong thing, and I think you need to apologize. Well, sir, let me tell you why I don't need to apologize to you. That's how the conversation would have went. But no, it was like, hey, who are you looking at? You. That's what happens. That's what happens on the cruise. And then, of course, bring alcohol in it, happens a little bit quicker. But if you feel a little, because a lot of people say, oh, it looked like you got a stick up your butt or whatever. Well, you don't fight well with a stick up your butt. You don't want to fight with a stick up your butt. You want to stay still. You want to that's my theory on that. And I've seen it. I've absolutely seen it. I've seen things like this before. So go on a cruise. Take your lady on a cruise. That's how you can do it. There are actually small little pockets of people who have like clubs that they dress up and they just hang out with each other. You can look that up on YouTube too. Now, also with watches, I'll get back to you, Pooh. I hear you. Also with watches, I have seen that people have infiltrated watches and everything else. Because see, the other part of people liking watches, you have a attraction to engineering. Every person I've seen that really, really loves watches has a attraction to engineering too. I've met I have never met a pilot that didn't have a nice watch. I have never, ever, ever met a pilot, and because of the military and other jobs I've done, I've come across a lot more pilots than the average person. I have never met a pilot that didn't have a nice watch. At the very least, they had a Citizen Echo Drive with multiple features. At the very least, but I've always seen them with a relatively expensive watch. All right, Pooh. So you're saying why cruises, in the sense, why cruises what? Why is cruises a good place to wear nice clothes? Maybe as you were watching, I didn't explain it, or I was explaining it and you saw it. But cruises are the place where traditionally people like to dress up. And that is a great place to see it. One of the few places where I've seen a lot of high-end watches on people's wrists in one place. The other place, going back to what I was saying before, the other place I see high-end watches, cigar lounges. I've seen more cigar, the next place under seeing individuals with nice watches for were first were cruises and then cigar lounges. Absolutely, Kay. Kay, you that's it. As you get older, you've already been there. You've been there, done that, and you don't need to have that kind of excitement right now. That excitement's not necessary. You know what will come out from it. And then as you get older, it's a lot more things at stake. I can't get in a fight. Two things are going to happen if I get in a fight today. I'm going to get arrested and it's going to cost me money. I'm going to need, because I, being an older person, understand that I will, well, three things. I will need to spend money on a lawyer. I'd rather buy other things than a lawyer. I'd rather buy other things than a lawyer. So I don't want to be around that at all. I don't want that to even come out. Also, I may get beat up. I may get my ass kicked. I may be disfigured after the fight. And for me, that all matters because I refuse to be that person with a nice watch and teeth missing. So now I got to get my teeth fixed. No new watch because I got to get my teeth fixed or something else. And then the last part, I have never talked about this in the video, but because I was getting injured so much, I decided not to continue. But I was really into MMA. I kickboxed and I did Brazilian jiu-jitsu for 15 years before I stopped. I just was getting injured so much that I decided not to continue to do it because it cost me money to get fixed. But I am a pretty capable person. Just the problem is, even if I do beat you in the fight on the street, either I might still get arrested because I hurt you too bad, or I pull easy, I tear easy, I get injured a lot. And so I know when I pick you up and slam you, I'm gonna hurt my back. I might win the fight, but I'm gonna hurt my back. So, all right, let's go on. Let's see what we got. No, I get it. I thought you were going to say cigar events. Cigar events, yeah, absolutely. Cigar events too. Also, one of the things I like to do, where you're gonna have really nice still age spirits. You're gonna have nice dressing, watches, and everything else. I eat at high-end places too. I like to eat at high-end places. So all these things go together. All these things start culminating, and you're like, you got to dress nice. If you ever heard of Ruth Chris, McCormick Smith, Capital Grille, Shula's, you're supposed to dress nice in those places, and if you got a suit on, you need to have a nice watch on. All right, so Pooh, this watch, it was in the video where I have my watch collection. This is a Seiko Sumo, if I'm not mistaken. This is a it's probably hard to see because of this, but this is a green dial watch. The bezel's green and the dial's green, and it goes with what I'm wearing. So if you look at another video I did, I was wearing a green waistcoat. I was wearing this watch. So those trying to look good requires detail. I'm gonna have a video out coming soon talking about how to look dress nice, but not look like a high school history teacher, because nobody wants to look like the high school history teacher. But dressing nice, for a lot of people, people understand it. And it's the small little details. That's why I have my green inlay wood wedding band to go all together. I'm coordinated. That's what I like to do. I like to be coordinated. This is a diver watch. It's this day and age, that is a very common watch to have. And I think it just looked really good. And I will have an actual, if it's not this week, next week, I will have a full review on that watch. If you're not a Facebook friend, make sure you just so you get the announcements, make sure you request do a friend request. Lately I've been I've been letting anybody in that does a friend request, anybody, or look into follow me on Instagram. Also, Pooh, this was not expensive as they can go. If you look at the watch, you can't see it. This camera is not picking up the detail. This watch is very detailed, as far as what it took to put it together, and for the price was wonderful, wonderful. If you look at Seiko Sumo green dial, you'll see maybe this watch, but maybe last year's version. Either way, this year's version and last year's version are wonderful, beautiful watches that aren't terribly expensive. But a green dial watch is what I needed as far as all the watches that I have. I didn't have a green dial watch. Hey, Flex, thanks for joining me. Yeah, see, that's another thing. If somebody pulls out a heater, God, I hope, because it's gonna happen. If it happens, and they miss. That's bad for them. And then I'll definitely need a lawyer, because I don't talk about it, because that's stay in your lane. That's what that's what the comments said. I got a couple things in my home and certain places, and I'm good at it. I was a in the military. You have what they call an MOS, and then you can get secondary MOSs. You can do other jobs. One of my other jobs, I was a range safety officer. A range safety officer really means you're the person who runs the range. What that also requires is you have to be a marksmanship instructor. You have to be. In order to be a marksmanship instructor, you have to be good at shooting. I'm pretty good at shooting. This is the first time in 20 something years I've been working. My dog is the reason why I don't have a gun right now. However, in a couple months, I'll be with a gun again. I can't get away from it. So I can shoot pretty well. And then I taught my wife how to shoot. She shoots all right too. And I have a couple guns in my house. All right. I haven't had that cigar yet, the Dominican Big Leaguer. I haven't I saw it before. It just didn't captivate me. I didn't see anybody going reviewing it and saying it was great. When you smoke so many cigars, because I don't have a particular cigar that I have to smoke. So I'm open to so much, but I haven't had that one yet because of that. Off topic. This is K Games. Off topic, but have you had any Aganorsa cigars? Yes, I've had quite a few Aganorsa cigars. I have quite a few Aganorsa cigars right now. I did a review, and last year I did when I say review, I did a pairing with an Aganorsa cigar. So yeah, I have quite a few Aganorsa cigars right now. And I like them. I like Aganorsa. Aganorsa is good. I haven't had the Aganorsa Habano, and I think you need to put a little bit more than just Aganorsa Habano in it because there's so many Aganorsa cigars. Because Aganorsa makes cigars for people, and then Aganorsa has their own cigars. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Take or Ryan? Which are you referring to MMA or are you referring to BJJ as far as Tank Orion, Little Flex? Or maybe you're not referring to that at all. Flor de Cana, it is good. Um, and to me, it doesn't get good till they get past, I think that was the 18 year. 12 year was okay to me. I think the 15 year was, I think 15 year let me down, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Guys, that's the thing that's so frustrating. I've done so many pairings where I've gone into rums and things like that, and I have a pairing with Flor de Cana. I have it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Let's see if I can look through. It's so it's it, I have a big I do I have a big library of videos, and I know it's hard to find them all. But if you just simply put a search in, you should be able to find it. Actually, it was the first one to come up right there. Make sure there we go. I'll put this in the chat so you can go right to it. There you go. There's my video. So yeah, I like boxing. I don't get into boxing like I used to. It's pretty much like I'm more of a MMA guy. I do enjoy boxing, but I haven't watched a live boxing event in years. It's been a long time. You tell me who I should be rooting for. You tell me why. Yeah, guys. DAVS. Um, it's no problem. I got the videos. You just got to put a search in. I got them. I've done so many. I if you haven't seen, I'm up to 100 or more. Is it? I can't remember how many I put out yet, or what number I'm on. But I'm over 100 cigar pairings. Yeah, over 100 because I have a couple of non-alcoholic pairings too. So you just gotta look those up. I've probably already done a video on it. But yeah. All right, guys, that's about to be it. I have so many things I need to do before I go. I mean, go to sleep. For those of you that don't know, I don't have all this stuff, these wonderful things, these watches, these distilled aged spirits, whiskeys, bourbons, and cigars because I got lucky. I did not get lucky. This is hard fucking work that I put in. I'm up at 3:30 pretty much every morning, going to work, putting in long days. That's how I have this stuff. It's not from luck. It's not from somebody giving me money because I had money somewhere. They had money or whatever. Not because of my parents. All this is from real, true hard work. So I'm about to shut this down. I'll take in some parting words, parting things if you have anything. Make sure you watch for my videos. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's Wallingford. It's not Charles Wallingford. It's just Wallingford. My Facebook, you can find Charles Wallingford. That's what I'm known as there, and you can check me out there. But yeah, I work real hard. I work real hard to earn this stuff, and that's what it comes from, guys. There's no secret. I'm definitely going to do a video on how I am able to have all these cool, fun things. These, I guess, expensive watches and everything else, and these definitely expensive alcohols. It's from real blood, sweat, and tears. No BS. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Watching this video on the review. What do you call it? I can't think of the word. If you're not watching this live, you're watching for the first time, make sure you hit me with a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you're watching this after the live was over, thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching me for the first time, wow, I can't believe it. Thanks for watching me. Check in my library. I probably have a video that will intrigue you besides my new ones. I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and you'll be surprised on how many things I cover and how of a bad time I don't stay in my lane. All right, guys. And to end the video, the Hardy 1863 cognac and spending time with you is how I would spend my money. See you later.